Good morning everyone, today's video is about you and what do you think about New Genesis because the closed beta has just ended. I got my voice back after eating a Subway sandwich for some reason. So I had like food normally, but I don't know why, I still felt like crap, so I went back to bed. And then like I woke up and I was like, wow, I really want to eat a Subway sandwich for some reason. Had a Subway sandwich and I feel much better. So for those who don't know what exactly happened, well, I mean, kind of need to explain to myself as well. But literally the day before the closed beta coming out, I got really sick. We were talking about like high fever, running nose, coughing, and I was just like, oh man, it's the Rona, man, I'm screwed. But, you know, I like never leave the house, so that's probably not possible. But either way, I got really sick and that sucked. So day one of the CBT, I was just out of it. I streamed a little bit. I streamed like 2 hours on every single day. On all 3 days, I streamed like an hour-ish. But I was pretty out of it. And I was like, pretty much, you know, just being a vegetable, right? And so right after the CBT ended, the CBT has ended maybe like, I want to say like 6 hours ago. And I'm fine again. So I don't know what the heck's going on. It was just like, you know, life was like, no, we're not gonna let you enjoy the CBT, and got me sick. And I was really sick. But after the CBT, it's just like, oh, you don't have to play New Genesis anymore. Oh, you don't need to be sick. Ooh. So, you know, I was kind of annoyed about that, like, now that I think about it, but it's fine, whatever. Life happens. I'm getting better now. I'm not fully 100% yet. I'm like, I want to say like 70%, you know, still got a stuffy nose, still a little bit of, you know, messed up cloggage, whatever, phlegm here. But overall, I'm feeling much better than I was like 2 days ago, or like even yesterday. So that's really good news. But again, today's video, I want to hear your thoughts on New Genesis. What did you think about the closed beta? Let me know in the comment section below. Obviously, if you guys want to hear my thoughts, I'm going to give them right now. But first of all, if you're new to the channel, I upload PSO2 content daily. So if you do play this game, I'd really appreciate a subscribe. So if you're new to the channel, I'd really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So first of all, let's start with the positives. What did I like about New Genesis? I love the graphics. I love the open world. I love the exploration. It's really jarring and painful for me to go from New Genesis after those glorious 3 days of me dying and Jayco running with the flag. It's very painful to come back to base PSO2. Because when you look at this graphics compared to what we saw before, it was just like, it's night and day. It's really night and day. And I love the graphics. Like when I loaded up the game, its recommended was different than when I loaded up the Japanese version back in March. So on the Japanese version, when I loaded it up, it said recommended graphics medium, which was setting number 4. But when I loaded it up on the global version, it gave me lowest. It gave me 1. That was the recommended, but I ignored that and I put it as 6, so maximum graphics. But I turned off motion blur and I turned off bloom. Yeah, I turned off these two, and I lowered the shadows to the lowest. But I played on 6, which was maximum graphics on a GTX 1060, and it ran perfectly fine. Sure, you know, there were times where it did dip to like, you know, 30 or 20 FPS, but very rarely. Like when I was in an 8-man zone, a 10-man zone, a 12-man zone, it was fine. When it got a little bit hectic, like 32-man zone, then it got a little bit, you know, choppy there. I think it dipped to like maybe 30 FPS-ish. It kind of like covered around there somewhere, but my eyes are really bad, so who knows, maybe you guys can see better than me. If you guys want to actually see like my PC running in full fidelity in action, check out yesterday's video. That was a 32-man raid, quote-unquote raid, because we were fighting the Gigantics. But to me, it looks pretty good. On YouTube, it looked pretty good. On my VOD, it looked pretty good. You can check it out on my Twitch channel, whatever. But it looked pretty good, considering that it was on 6. I was just like, wow, not bad at all, you know. I was very surprised. So that gives me high hopes for New Genesis, because I know for a fact that they have been working on optimization. Another thing is a huge improvement in optimization compared to back in March when we played on the JP CBT. It's night and day. It really is night and day. In the Urgent Quest, I rarely drop frames. There are like 2 moments where I drop frames, while before on the Japanese CBT, it was like the moment the Urgent Quest happened, like everyone's frames just dropped, like got cut in half. But it was really good. It was really, really good. I was very, very happy that I could just play the game and just enjoy it for what it is, and that was really, really enjoyable. Other things that I really liked was everything was in English. I can understand everything now. And the community, the sense of community was amazing. Like in the closed beta, I'm gonna dip a little bit into the negatives. There wasn't a lot of content. You know that, I know that, we all know that. There wasn't a lot of content. We literally got tutorial till like level 8 or level 10, and it was just like, yep, that's it. Go enjoy the world. Shoo shoo, get out. There's no more content. And it was literally grind from like level 8 to level 15, right? We literally just went to the PSE area or we went to the swamp area. You just loopy loop until you got to max level. And so a lot of people got really bored, really burnt out super duper quickly because they're like, well, this is kind of boring, right? We don't want to just grind like that. And this is where the community kicked in. So I was very fortunate enough to work with a lot of awesome creators. We all planned this together where we wanted to take out Gigantics, because that was something I wasn't able to do on the JP server simply because there wasn't enough people that I knew that was on board, that was on the same page. But on the global servers, you know, we were all on the same page. We're like, we want to kill a Gigantics. We want to do it. We have to do it for the content, for the achievement, for the prestige. Well, not really any prestige, but we wanted to do it, okay? And so it was nice to have a bunch of people, like, we were all helping out each other. We're like, yo, what level are you? You're level 13? I got you. Let's party up. Let's power level together or whatever. And like, everyone was working together. There was a huge sense of community. It was super nice. It was just great to just meet all my peers. You know, we had GM Custom, Kwiji, Chrono, Anamana. The whole shebang was there, and we were just like, yeah, let's power level. And, you know, obviously, like, you know, they did their crazy streams. I was sitting there in, like, my deathbed trying to click a button and, like, suffering and trying to stay alive. But at the end, we finally took out the Gigantics, and that was such a moment. If you guys want to see that, please check out yesterday's video. It was momentous? I don't know English. My nose is clogging up. I'm having trouble speaking now. But it was amazing, all right? It was so good. And then in the end, we had that amazing photo shoot together with like a group photo with a bunch of creators, as well as a bunch of other fans. I saw you fans sneaking in, but that was really cool. And I was just like, wow. That, you know, that felt really nice. That really felt really nice, because I haven't been in a community or, like, you know, in a creator group where everyone is so helpful and everyone just likes each other. You know, as you guys may have known from my my Arcs Trash episodes, you know, I suffer from some anxiety. I am very skittish with new people or meeting new people, because it's just, you know, I don't really like to get out of my comfort zone too much, and so meeting new people is a scary thing for me. But just, you know, because we were all in game, we all had a common goal, we're all working towards something, it helped kind of like ignore that part of my brain. My brain was just like, yeah, Gigantics, let's go kill him, level up. And it wasn't thinking about like, hey, I don't know this guy. It was just like, whatever, get on. You know, we were all like super chill, and I loved it. And so that was really nice. But obviously there were some negatives in the CBT, and so we're going to touch on that now. So the first one, as I said earlier, is the lack of content, because it's a closed beta. They don't want to show all of their cards, obviously. But it is something that Sega should really take into consideration, is that global players, especially global players, we burn through content very quickly. Like, we've been conditioned now for this entire year with this 8 years worth of content accelerated into 1 year. We're wired to this type of crazy rapid content update. So now with New Genesis coming in, if the content update doesn't keep up with the global pace, then a lot of people are going to burn through the content in like a week and then get bored and then drop the game and then come back when there's a new content patch. So it's very, very important that Sega paces out their content so that there's always things to do. There's always new things to do. If they do like a huge info dump, it's just like, here you go. Here's all the content you can do for the next 3 months. And then everyone burns through it in like the first 2 weeks. Then there's like, there's like 2 months and a half of like no content. People are going to get really, really bored because you're going to run out of things to do. That was especially relevant or evident in the CBT. It was like the first day everyone was like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever, oh, and then we all hit level 15 on the first day. There were some people that did that. I didn't because I was on my deathbed, but people hit like, I hit 12. I hit level 12 on day 1. A lot of people hit 15 on day 1, and then they're like, now what, and then there are other people that came in blind. I think like Dudley, like he went in blind, he got in, he got super hyped, and then he hit level 12 or something, and he was just like, oh, all there's left is to grind. And he just kind of like, you lose the drive. You're just like, just grind, boring. Oh, welcome, Ruby. But it's just right? You need to make sure that you have the content paced out so that there's always things to do. There's always a sense of progression. There's always stuff to gear up and get stronger. Wow, rude. Ruby's just eating in front of me now. I'm. Oh wait, you can't see her. Let me move the camera. There, you can see Ruby over there. She's eating some beautiful, yummy sushi right there. I'm very, very, very upset. I want sushi too. But what were we talking about? Right, the cons. So, first one was obviously content. Second one was the materials. We need to have it like the old version. Like in the Japanese closed beta, we could collect materials every 3 hours. The ores would respawn every 3 hours, and it was a lot easier to collect all the things that we needed. And on top of that, if we wanted to collect more, we could just switch blocks and all the ores would respawn. They changed that on the global version. They made it so that the ores spawn every daily. So every 24 hours, the ores would spawn once. So once your dailies resetted, all the ore across the entire world would spawn again, and you would collect them all again. But the issue, especially with the closed beta, was it was only 3 days. And so after they all respawned, we were like, we pillaged the land, we pick up everything, and then we just sat there and we waited. Because a lot of us wanted to get like potential level 3 on our weapons. A lot of us wanted to just become stronger, progress our characters in the short 3-day span that we had to play the closed beta. And we couldn't because we were time gated by this. And so I feel like maybe Sega could look into this again, or allow us to just respawn all the ores by switching blocks or something. Because I feel like the player shouldn't be time gated in these sorts of video games. Like if we were talking about like Genshin Impact or like a gacha game, yeah, sure, time gate us, because that's to be expected from a gacha game, right? They have a business model built around this where it's like, hey, you don't want to be time gated? Pay us some money. That's a gacha game thing, right? That's their whole business model. But in like PSO2 or like this type of MMO, like there shouldn't be this type of system. We shouldn't be time gated across certain things, especially such arbitrary things like materials, right? If we were time gating things such as like the urgent quest, like sure, that's a big moment, right? An urgent quest, high chance of getting like a 3-star rarity item, big progression spike, that type of stuff. Sure, time gate that, it's fine. But materials, maybe not so much, right? That's my 2 cents. I don't know what you guys think, but let me know in the comment section below. As you guys can tell, I'm clearly losing my voice, so I'm just gonna stop talking here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.
What can I say except you're welcome for the heals, the boosts, the rest.